Boss, that thing I was working on. I made contact with a guy at the Saugus Ironworks.
Oh, no, not those forged nut jobs.
Told you wouldn't like it. Force are about to go through a change in leadership, though. The up-and-comer is looking for support.
Before we pledge our fire to you, I have one further request. My sister, Bedlam, has asked for my help with a most unorthodox task.
Who disrupts the song?
Forgive me, Vodik. We are besieged. Our defenses are breached.
Who dares?
The Minutemen, Vodik.
Toothfinder, aid us in the expulsion of these heathen.
I will see every last Minuteman screaming in agony as they burn to ash. You've proven yourselves trustworthy allies. You have my people's full support.
Hey guys, kinggath here with episode 37 of my Fallout 4 Sim Settlements Forever Let's Play. No new mods this week, and I haven't actually been doing a ton lately. I mentioned in the past that part of that is just because the save is getting mature enough where I'm afraid to introduce any. But also, you guys have mostly stopped suggesting, so if you've got any mods you see are missing from my list, which you can find linked down below, definitely suggest them with a link to where I can download on the Nexus, and I will check it out and see if it will fit within this character playthrough. And if it doesn't fit in this character, I'll add it to my list. You can see in that document that's linked below. I've got a ton of mods people have suggested that are kind of on standby, waiting for me to start my next character. This character is probably going to go until we finish all of the content we have planned for Conqueror, and then I'll roll up a new character, or until this save just dies, because that's what happens to saves when you mod the crap out of them. And as you can see, my mod list has gotten pretty expansive. But today we're going to continue with the main story content, the stuff that was put out in patch 416. I think we probably got 2 videos worth of content we can do, and so we'll get the first half of that done today. But first thing, what is this? I'm just going to get rid of that. I think I probably have some scenes queued up. So I know there's been a lot of the flavor scenes we haven't shown yet on here, just because there were some generally, depending on how quickly you're plowing through the raiding of settlements, which we went pretty fast, you can end up with all of the main quests queued up before the scenes. And one of the changes we made in 416 is allowing the scenes to play even if you've already gone through enough settlements to trigger the next part of the main quest. We make sure the scenes fire in between there.
It's a fucking expression, Mole.
What expression? You kill bad Aiden with it? Big weapon?
No, just... No. I said he's a dead man because I mean to make him a dead man. He's not dead right now.
Why Jam say that? Say Jam's gonna kill him, like Maul say.
Why are we having this conversation? Why the fuck am I talking to you right now?
Jam's come to Maul. Jam's mad. Jam say Aiden dead man. Maul say good, bad Aiden dead. Jam say he kill Aiden with expression.
Yeah, good, Mole, good. You can fuck off now. Thanks.
No. What that mean?
It means go away, Mole.
Why Jams not say that? Stupid Jams. Use right words. Stupid.
You two done? We've got problems.
What kind of problems?
I've managed to piece together what the Minutemen are up to, and it's not good.
Well, what a fucking revelation, Leah.
You want to hear it, or you want to act like a petulant child, Jammer?
Fine, spit it out.
Within the next 72 hours, they plan to have blockades up in the hopes of choking off our supply routes.
Fuck.
Yeah, well, that's not all either. They're working on setting up some kind of radio relay to make their radio men more effective.
Oh, hell no they're not. Where they set it up? I'll put an end to that shit right fucking now.
Unclear. I do have an idea of where they plan to put up blockades, though.
I'll take care of it.
I'll come with. Need to stretch my legs anyway. Spent too much time hunched over that damn radio. Jams, before I head out, let me show you how to use the radio. You may want to keep an ear out for anything that sounds like a location.
Yeah, that sounds like a great tie. Let me grab a brew first.
I'll make it quick. We need to head out. Uploading the first location to your Pip-Boy. I'll meet you there after I show Jams the ropes. Oh, and by the way, keep your Pip-Boy radio tuned for this run, in case Jammer needs to reach us.
Oh, it feels so good when a scene plays out perfectly. So with patch 416, we started doing something new with the scenes. If you noticed, Maul wasn't actually standing there when we walked up to Jammer. We finally implemented something. Wow, those turrets are loud. That a lot of you guys on our forums have been requesting for a long time, and it was something I had fought because I hate the immersion breakingness of it, but it's just too important for this game with its wonky pathing. Is we don't exclusively rely on pathing anymore, which good thing we didn't. Basically, if a character like what happened there, Maul was unable to path there, when the actual scene starts, he's just teleported into place. So it works perfectly there. He was teleported in, then the rest of the scene played out great. So loving that. Let's go ahead and head out to our first blockade. We should be real close. Happens to be we can just walk there, but through the magic of editing, I'm already there. All right, this week let's check out what Raybo has for us. So the first thing he's got is a brand new faction pack for Conqueror, and that is a new Minutemen Liberator faction pack. Many of you guys have been playing with the one that Dougal released, but Dougal has moved on and hasn't been updating it as regularly, and so new user Choice Specs Mawil, and I'm probably butchering how you pronounce that, has released a new version. He's actually been in contact with Dougal about eventually merging some of the features together. So now you have 2 takes available on the Minutemen if you want to play those with Conqueror. And this version by Choice Specs has a bunch of commanders. It has a bunch of different special units. It does require the militarized Minutemen, so keep that in mind if you want to try this out. But it's another way to play with the Minutemen and the Conqueror faction pack system. Next up, we have something that I actually expected somebody to release a long time ago. In fact, it's taken so long that I had made my own version with the intention of releasing it this week, and now I don't need to because someone made a better version, and that is Conqueror Quick Trade and Get Out of My Face patches by Timmy the Quiet. So those are available as well. So if you're using Quick Trade or Get Out of My Face with Conqueror, you might have found that the soldiers lack the alternate activation option to bring up their little menu so that you could change their role or to move them around. And this patch makes it so that when you're using those mods together with Conqueror, you just crouch to get access to the Conqueror menu, whereas the other 2 options remain the default. So check that out if you're using those mods. And then lastly, we have something that it's a new type of mod. I've never really featured one like this. And I actually love the idea of this and would love to see more mods doing this. And that is Vic's Commonwealth Map Extended Project. And so what this does is it takes some of the cells out in the ocean, adds a bridge to them from the mainland, and starts building those out. And it's actually fully nav meshed them and added a bunch of explorable locations, and there's creatures. Now, there aren't any quests up there. He's not doing a quest mod, but just adding more space to explore. And I love mods that enhance the existing world without breaking a lot of existing cells, which is something that this aims to do. So go check out Vic's Commonwealth Map Exploration Project by More Like Vicky. All right, during the magic of editing, you guys missed a moment. I stumbled upon where'd she go? Where are you at, Kit? There you are. Stumbled upon a suit of power armor locked in a cage, and I grabbed that, threw Kit in it. I don't know if I'll keep her in it, but didn't want to waste that power armor. I don't know what I'm going to do with it either. That's odd. That's the first one I've stumbled upon outside of the one I've got, and the one up on the, actually the one I got on now, it might be the one that I originally found up on the Roof of Sanctuary. Uncertain. Either way, we'll figure out what we're going to do with power armor later. For now, let's go meet up with Ophelia.
Well now, isn't this a cozy little setup? Let's blow it up, shall we?
Let's. Wait, what am I doing? I was about to stealth. I don't think so. We need this. And reload. And a bit of that. Now we're ready. Hey guys. Here, I'm going to toss this. Do I have any grenades equipped? Apparently not. Oh, that's right. Well. Get dead, Radio Man. Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. One's still alive here. I don't think so. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, that was Ophelia with the... cat grenade. Sorry, dog. Oh, I forgot I could have alerted you. Forgot to drop the meat. Sorry. Sorry, dog.
That felt surprisingly invigorating. Let's hunt down some more. Here's number 2's location. I'll see you there. Gonna hang back for a few minutes, see if there's anything we can use here.
Alright, let's go Minutemen, Blockade number 2.
You sweep right. Let's take them down fast.
Alright, I got a new, well, not a new toy, but I got a pile of a toy that I want to play with here. Let's see if I can. And there we go. Let's try another one. There we go. A little explosive harpoon action, guys. You're welcome. Maybe one more right here. Nice and fast.
This is so much better than sitting at that damn desk. I'll bet Jammer's already going stir crazy. Here's the next target. Gonna poke around for supplies again. I'll catch up.
I already took all the good stuff. Thanks, so. Number 3, let's go.
I think they're on to us at this point. I've picked a few stealth boys off some of these guys. Gonna use one to get in close first. I'll be ready when you are.
Okay. You stealth boy. I'm going in guns blazing. Yeah, let's do some melee action. Hey guys. Uh-oh. Arms off. Right by head. Oh, sorry, dog beat. I think that was me. These sweeping strikes are dangerous.
Ha! Piece of cake! Wow,
Pretty sure I
definitely
did all
doing
the
that
work
again
here.
next time.
Who are you?
Here's the next target. Same drill. Meet you there.
Alrighty, let's see. I think the 4th one we can just walk to from here. Let's check. Yeah, we can just walk over there. Oh, and I ended up finally getting... So, a few episodes back, we started doing some of the side quest content, and we ended up getting the quests out of order due to a bug in the amount of time, and I finally happened to get the one that we ended up skipping. So, we're going to go try and do that. I don't know if today, but at some point, I'm going to go try and do that and see what happens if I try and do that one out of order. Should still work. Alright, let's make our way over there. Try not to get distracted by loot on the way. I really want to invest points. I don't remember what it is. I don't know if it's endurance or agility. Whatever gives me more efficient AP, because I just want to sprint all the time. I've been investing stuff that I can in that already, so I put the most of my power armor pieces make sprinting, either make sprinting more efficient or they make AP refresh faster. I can't remember which, but gotta have more sprinting. Alright, I really want to go look in that bus for loot, but I'll resist. Alright, and then let's see. Since we didn't... This is going to look real funny, actually. Since we didn't fast travel... Oh, what was that? Ophelia, it'll just magically be here. Didn't think about that.
Something's a little off with this one.
Yeah, like the giant explosion?
More Minutemen here. Watch your back. I'm using another stealth boy. Give me a 10 count before you head in.
Alright. Let me, let's see here. Harpoons are a little absurd. Oh, China Lake. I forgot about you. Could be using you too. Let's see. Are we gonna need some frags, or did they just blow themselves up? I see a couple Minutemen there. Doesn't seem that bad. I think most of them might have died in that explosion, whatever we just saw. Alright, let's go. She's had enough time. Gotcha. Oh, I missed that guy. There's a couple up here, yeah. One of them's a radar man. Oh, hey. Right. You kill that one, dog meat. I'm going up here. I'm gonna get this radio man. No, you're not a radio man. Where's the radio man? Oh no, they fired. Oh, there you are. Missed him though. I saw the flare go off, which means I got reinforcements incoming. You know, I've got music turned off. Hey, settler. Alright, you want to be a part of the show? I've got music disabled to try and reduce the likelihood we hear radio bits that get me flagged, but man, it is, it's really not as fun to have combat without the combat music. I really love it. I might have to turn music back on and just risk it, just so I can get some tunes. Hopefully Luke hooked you guys up. Whoa, here we go, we got a squad coming in. Hopefully Luke hooked you guys up with some music during these fights. Yeah, oh, there's the reinforcements. I was like, wait, who are these guys? Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, we also still have, we still got our guy in here to take out. So, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing next. It seems like I killed everybody and should be advancing. Still says take out the minutemen, so I guess maybe somebody ran? Alright, well, let's go find out. It also sounds like there's still more people fighting over there. I thought I got all the reinforcements, maybe not. Here we go. Uh-oh. My batteries die again? I really need to get a wire. Oh! 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 You cheeky bastard.
I'm not stupid enough to think killing you will resolve any of this. But it's a start.
Let's just hug this out and get it over with. What do you say?
This all ends today. I've made sure of that. You were a loose end, so this is merely a convenience.
So that's a no on the hug? Just checking.
Do it.
Sir.
Go. Now, tell McLeod to spring the trap.
I'm on it, sir. You got things here?
The situation's in hand, DeWitt. Get moving. I have to say, you do impressive work, objectively speaking. But it was a mistake coming here on your own. I still don't understand why Jammer thinks you're so special. But I guess the point is moot now.
Easy there, cowboy. You're gonna owe me for this one.
Still, you're a little late to the party, Ophelia.
What was that about a trap, Aiden?
I don't have time for this. I'll deal with you two later.
Slippery bastard.
This thing...
Why Jams talk to little fox? Jam's funny.
Shut up, Maul! Boss, Leah, if you can hear this, we're heading out. Scouts just found the position of the new relay tower. We're gonna take it out.
Shit. Do you think... Shit, we've gotta move!
Uh-oh. A little trap is happening. Alright, obviously I knew that was coming because I programmed it all, but had to play the part. Speaking of, so something occurred during there, and we covered it up with editing there. I'm sure some of you guys noticed I wasn't in power armor when Aiden smacked me over the head. Turns out that scene completely breaks down when you're in power armor. I mean, it can still play, and like Aiden will do his talking and everything, but man, does it play better when you're not in power armor. So we did a little re-record, pulled my power armor off. So if you are playing through this yourself, you're power armor enthusiast like me, recommend you take your power armor off of that scene. I'm gonna look into alternatives, but we don't have a lot of animation options for cool stuff like that. So Aiden got away, as he is known to do. We're not quite ready to kill him off yet. We got some more story to tell, but we're gonna hit the pin in it right there. Put the pin in it. All right, so it's that weird. Put the pin in it for now. Head back to Sanctuary, do some building. We'll go catch up on this. Leave that on a nice cliffhanger. We'll catch up on that next episode. Endorsement time. It's your weekly reminder. Go endorse those mods. And I actually found one that I probably should have endorsed a long time ago, and that is Legendary Modifier Rebalance, which attempts to make some of those crappier legendaries usable. Some of them, there's just nothing to save them. Those super narrow limited ones just aren't salvageable, but it tries, and so I'm sure I've felt the effects of this mod, so I definitely want to give that a thumbs up. But yeah, come in here. The easiest way to do this, if you've never seen this section before, I'm just trying to encourage you guys to give the thumbs up. In Vortex, it's real quick. If you click on mods, change your status to enabled, and you're endorsed to undecided, you get a list of all the mods you haven't endorsed yet, and just click this little thumb button right here next to them. And then if you really love a mod, right click it, hit open on Nexus Mods, and go give that author some love. Give them a comment, let them know that you appreciate their work, because that's pretty much all that mod authors are working for. There's very little money to ever be made in this. It's all about just getting some positive feedbacks from some fans to encourage you to make the next big mod. So that's what I want to see more of. Let's see more people inspired to create even more cool content for us to play around with. Alright, we're back at Sanctuary, and I made it nighttime because today we're going to go do some lighting around the place. I don't know if we're going to light the entire place because there's still some chunks that I got to finish up the actual design work for, and I'm going to not do it all on camera because there's a lot of like little detail fiddling and stuff. And so some of the lights are on there. For example, the player home, I still haven't done the front yard in, and so I won't light the whole thing. Also, that's probably going to take a while to light it, but just give you guys an idea what I'm going to do. My PC does seem to be working again. I replaced the hard drive last week, and now I seem to have eliminated most of the crashing. So before we get started, though, I did make a big change here. Oh, and it looks like the Bunker Hill Caravan is working. Cool. I got rid of, there used to be a 2x2 clinic right here, and I switched it to an interior where I built my own little structure for it. And that was because I didn't realize it because I was flying up in the sky at the time doing this. But when I set up this flag here, I planted this light here, and it was right in the middle of the plot. And then I went to kind of adjust things and realized that I had shoved the 2x2 plot deep into here. And I'm sure any of you guys paying attention at the time probably thought that that was dumb, and I probably convinced myself it was a good idea at the time, thinking that I was going to decorate all this stuff. But now that we're looking toward city plan release at some point, I don't want you guys to have to use the actual buildings I'm using, so having the plots clipping at that amount would have forced you to only use the one building plan I used. So I opted to just switch it over to, well, this thing's got a bunch of doors here. I did some plot refreshing, trying to make sure that all the lighting was working, and a lot of it kind of got gummed up because of my wonderful script load in Sanctuary with 50 settlers and 100 plots. So that should catch up and clean itself up in a minute. But I wanted to make sure that as many plots as possible had their lights on. And some of them, due to synchronization issues, they didn't have them on. So I think we're in good shape now. We're ready to start lighting here. So my favorite lights of all, and I guess we should get into workshop mode, are these like string lights. Let me see if I can find one on a plot here. Yeah, right there. These things on the furniture store. Absolutely love these strings of caged lights. Those are in, I think they're in Wasteland Workshop, but we added them to Project Blueprint because they're actually vanilla assets. So it was just that Bethesda made them buildable with Wasteland Workshop. So let's head into, I think it's special power. Yeah, here we go. Lights, no power required. So we've got individual bulbs here we could attach to things if we want. I think for external lighting, I think that's why I really like these cage lights, is they just seem too perfect. These sorts of lights will be cool onto the existing buildings, like the vanilla buildings. We don't want to attach them onto plot buildings, though, just because the plot might not be built at that time. Let's see here. There they are. Here's our little collection. So we got to look for places, and we got to think about that when we're attaching lights everywhere, as we can only really make sense to attach lights to either the existing structures. So for example, I can put one here because this we can guarantee will be here. We don't want to attach them onto plot buildings. Now it doesn't particularly make sense to light it because there's nothing in here. I left this building completely empty. This is going to be one of those ones in the city plan for those of you guys who want to do some building and come in here and clean this up yourself and make use of it for whatever you like. I might slap a door on there. Maybe I'll do that later. But I really want to get this area lit up, and I think I want to just follow the street and light it up. So I don't have access to the typical, so this light here, a lot of the best set pieces were only added in with the DLC, which is really unfortunate. So let's look at what we have available for street lights. I don't know that we put much in. I think that's why we ended up doing this thing here. And this, we have to manually put the light bulb on separately, which is obviously not ideal, just because that's going to slow me way down. But let's go back to let's look at the vanilla lights and see what options they have. It's been so long since I've used vanilla lighting. Is this? So like if you look in the workshop mode, if you've never noticed this, if you're trying to keep your stuff vanilla, you got to look at the little symbol down there. And the items that don't have a symbol are part of the vanilla game. So all these ones that have the little Deathclaw, I think, are Wasteland Workshop. So that's no good. Oh, there was one. Okay, ceiling land. So there are some deeper into the list that are from vanilla. Okay, that gives me hope. Maybe there's something we can use. And I think the ones with M are either, I believe those are either mod added, or they might also be Creation Club. I'm uncertain. Let's see here. These are all vanilla. None of these usable outside. As far as I'm concerned, as far as design goes. That's all Voltech Workshop. Yeah, okay. So pretty limited on street lighting, which is unfortunate, but I know there's some great ones that were added by the DLC. So we've got to come up with a solution for that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to embrace these types of things. We've got our own power poles we can add just to fill in over here, and then we can also attach lights to some of those industrial style, or the telephone pole style, so we can use some of these. So I think I've been using those a lot, so I think maybe we'll continue that. We'll attach lights to those, is to instead of, because the commercial here is actually pretty well lit. I don't feel like I need to do anything here. Kind of want some over here for these guys, so let's start with that. And for that, I can actually attach something to the building. So there we go. So I think I got a plan now. So let's have at this. Let's see, Back's Project Blueprint Special. All right, and then let's back up. Let's get these ones that were attached to the, that look like they'd be attached to the building. Here we go. This looks perfect. See if it'll actually attach correctly. And we might shrink this guy down. Oh, I was not attached to the building at all. That was just my imagination that I was. Oh, okay. It's probably attaching to some weird collision on this building. So we're going to just nudge this with place everywhere. Let's see if I can get my F7 to work. It wasn't working for me earlier. Yeah, it does not appear to be working. Don't know what I did. Let's see. Make sure the mouse is focused. Let's try this. Oh, okay, there we go. It is working. I just, the little, usually place everywhere will put little prompts in the corner telling you what you clicked, but it appears to be the part that's broken. All right, so we're going to just nudge this thing around since the actual auto place collision does not seem to want to function today. That's all right. I think we're going to shrink this as well. Let's see. How's that look? Yeah, that looks decent. Let's nudge this into place. Keep going. Oops. I just moved the Bunker Hill thing a little bit, which means that I don't actually have this thing locked on. So I don't know what's going on there. I guess the collision is just weird. The F7 is not working for me now. Probably have to reboot my game or something. I did have a lot of issues with the brown face bug earlier tonight, and for me that usually happens when I'm losing focus on the game, so by clicking out in other windows, and maybe that also causes problems with place everywhere. All right, so we got a nice little light there to light up our little building entrance here. I still haven't done the traders building there, but I'll get to that eventually. I don't know that I need all of this area lit up. Maybe some lights here because we're trying to invite people in. And so this feels like another great place for one of the cage lights. So, and we can use a little bit wider one here. Here we go. Let's see, line this up. Let's see if I can actually. Everything always seems closer than it appears. It's like a car mirror. There we go. I actually feel like that's not enough. We need more lights here. Let's see. We could do, I guess we can continue with this. No, I don't like it lighting up all the sides over there. I guess we can do, okay, so here's another thing. We have another little tool we have, raw lighting. We can do some, we can trickery here. We can make it look like this thing is brighter than it actually is. So let's go Omni white light, and let's see how bright this is. It's not catching anything. Let's get it down. How's that? Let's move it here. I'll put another one. Alright, so now that kind of gives it the impression that these cage lights are much brighter than they actually are. We can actually use this to cheat too, so we can kind of make it look like all of our lights, because while these light bulbs are here right now, as soon as we leave workshop mode, those will be gone. This is a trick I see Mr. Don Strong, oh, I don't like that, Mr. Don Strong using all the time to fake the lighting and make it look good without having to overdo it on actual light sources, which I'm kind of into. I like making it feel like the light is spilling out a little bit. And Omni light sources are actually surprisingly cheap in this game, and you can tell if you go into the vault cells for any of Bethesda's made vault areas, and you'll see that they just spam those things. So clearly the engine is capable of handling quite a load of these. Now, if it might turn out that, and the other thing with these is we have them flagged as extra lighting, or detailed lighting rather. So any of you guys using the performance options, these will be removed automatically if your system can't handle it. You have that option turned on, so that's nice there. So I don't want to have two of these because it blanked out this cooking station light, which I really liked. So we need to find something that will look nice with that. So I think maybe neon flicker orange. Let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, that gets a nice firelight look. Washes out the shadows a little bit, but gives it I love that. And this is the type of detail work that I am so thankful we have people like Donald Strong on the team to handle. There we go. Makes that a little brighter over there. Looks like it's coming from the fire. I'm liking that. We might use more of this Omni around in the center to make it look like these commercial plots are a little bit brighter than they are. Okay, here we go. Omni Light Warm is actually what I probably should have used over here. Make the warm look a little better. Let's try that. I didn't realize I had those. White. Let's try warm. Yeah, that looks much better. There we go. Get rid of these cool lights. So warm just tends to have more of a yellow reddish hint to it, or hue to it, as opposed to the Omni White, which is going to be very bright white and doesn't look very natural. So let's see here. So I guess we can kind of fill in some of these in between the commercial light areas to make it look like this whole area is nicely well lit. Let's see. And we can actually spill this over into this area. This isn't... Lighting is definitely not my specialty, so if any watching who's a 3D artist is cringing at my the light sourcing I'm doing, don't be a stranger about commenting with suggestions, because I'm just kind of doing my best here based on stuff I've seen. Like I said, some of our designers in the Sim Settlements ROTC team do. I don't know if I'm doing it any justice, but I like the way it looks, and I feel like once we add our centerpiece here, it's going to be nice to have this whole kind of area around the commercial area just look really lit up, even though we don't necessarily have physical sources for all of them. So I'm digging this. Maybe one more over here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So like when we leave workshop mode, all of those will disappear, but the light itself actually stays. So that's what's cool about these little invisible project blueprint objects. So there's lights available. There's blue man markers, which just do little animations and all sorts of stuff like that. All right, so now let's get back to our streetlight idea. So I'm thinking we'll continue the pattern of using these types of guys over these power poles. In fact, let's just go ahead and clone this. And we can use these as like makeshift streetlights. I kind of like that idea. So let's see, we want to get this a little bit taller. All right, and then I'm thinking, because I don't want to have to go through all the trouble of lining up those little individual light bulbs, I'm thinking what might be cool here is to use not these type of things, these hanging ones. So where'd it go? Oh, I missed it. Oh, and there was something I didn't notice for firelight. I could have used that instead of the neon. Maybe I'll go swap that in a little bit. Let's see here. So I think there's one on a, not this one on a chain. Here it is, right here. So I'm thinking if I can line this up correctly, which might be easier said than done. Oh, actually, is this hanging down straight enough where I could get away with? No, I don't think it is. But let's look at, what does this look like? How does this look? That looks, if I can get that lined up good, that's going to look pretty cool. Especially if I tilt it to kind of match. Let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, this is where I'm going to sorely miss the F7 lock not working. Let's try and nudge this into place. This is also going to be a spot where I'm going to want the mod clipboard real bad. That is something that I can try and use the workshop plus layers for, but I have been avoiding it just because I know that the load that adds can be significant on a big settlement, so I don't want to risk destabilizing us, given how many scripting issues we're already having in this monstrosity of a settlement. All right, let's see here, and then we need to go up a little bit, not a little too far. All right, let me see if I can remember what is the hotkey. Yeah, there we go. Reduce the nudge. And a little bit this way. Yes, I'm being very, very picky about this. Still too far. Still too far. Okay, how's that look from down here? Not terrible. I've seen worse. But then I'm thinking, okay, so if we have something like that, and actually let's scale that way up so it's going to be a little more believable for what we're about to do here. We'll scale that up. How does that look from up here? A little bit. Let's keep going around the circle. Let's get this first one right. Get our pattern so you guys know roughly what I'm thinking of. All right, so then we got that. So now I'm thinking Then we go back to the raw lighting again, not firelight or candlelight. And we do some more, really like the warm. Where's that? And then we do something like this, and we'll put maybe 3 of these in a circle around it. There we go. So now that kind of gives it a feel like it's a big, hefty spotlight. And so if I just copy and paste that and spam that down the street here, maybe alternating sides, we can get some nice street lighting going. So that's what I think I'm going to do for that. And we're going to go ahead and I think I might play around with the layers. So I'm going to quickly pause here and set up all my hotkeys so you guys don't have to wait watching me do that. All right, let's see if I can demonstrate this properly on camera. So I've set up some hotkeys for Workshop Plus. So I've got N, I've got set up as make new layer. Let's see if that works. So if it does work, if it takes, so I might have to, let's see, always the hotkey problem if I move my mouse out. Try to push N, there we go. And the layer panel appears, and it activated this new layer. So I've got an option set up, and I'll show you guys what it's called because I can never remember the name of it. In Workshop Plus under Options, Auto Change Layers. I turned that on. That's off by default. And what that will do is anytime you pick something up and then move it, so whether it be place it again or just hit cancel, it gets moved onto the current active layer. You can see that there's on 0 up there in the corner on the layer panel, it's got a bar around it. That means it's the active layer. So then we'll do that to all of these objects, and you can see that purple highlight means it just got added to the layer. We'll just keep doing this. These ones, I think because their effect shaders aren't going to get that purple, but we'll just trust that it's actually working. All right, so there we go. So we've done that. Now I've got the D hotkey set to duplicate. So yes, duplicate it. Layers finish duplication. Okay, and it highlighted all the items that got duplicated. All right, well, let's make sure that finishes successfully. They're all getting added to the layer. Okay, that looks good. And then I have, let me see, I think X I have hotkeyed as hide the layer. So the reason we're going to do that, we're going to hide this layer is because I want to be able to pick up everything without grabbing the wrong things. So let's hit X to hide that layer. Okay, and then I have another hotkey I set to toggle the layers. Let's see if I can figure out which one I set to that. Is it this one? Next layer? That's not working. Let's try this. Mod config. Let's go back to my hotkeys once more. Hotkeys. Let's see. Switch layers. What key is that? I have no idea what key that is. We'll just pick a new one. How about K? Sure. I don't use my keyboard for anything. All right, let's try this. K. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to... Okay, and this is actually a terrible way to do it. We're going to just instead use this little tool. I keep forgetting. It's been so long since I used Workshop Plus. There should be a layer handle. Here we go. Okay, so now what this will do is it's going to grab everything on the active layer. So this is layer 0. So when I created this, it became locked to layer 0. If I go to layer 1 and place a layer handle, it'll have a 1 over it, showing me that it's all the items on layer 1. So now I can pick this up, and it grabs all the items on that layer. And now I can rotate them all, and they rotate in a nice group. And we can make a copy of our little setup here. So we'll set this right here. There we go. And then we're gonna, just to show you guys that everything worked, let's switch back over to our layer 1, and unhide should be X. And there's our items again. Now these things, I think you have to pick them up and set them back down again. Yeah, that's a little disadvantage to, I think it's just a matter of I don't have Workshop Plus integrated completely with Sim Settlements, so it doesn't know that these things need to be refreshed in order to get their lighting. But there we go. So now I got a nice clone of that, and I could continue to do that. I could just keep copying this layer and spamming it. The other thing I could do is create a blueprint, which is something else we might do here. In fact, I'll go ahead and try it. It's been so long. Again, so long. I don't use these parts of Workshop Plus that often, and that's because I don't play the game that often outside of for what you guys see every week. All right, so let's go ahead and build this. And let's see if I remember how to use this. Let's see. So we want to create a blueprint of layer 1. There we go. Yeah, let's name it. Where's blueprint name one? Here we go. Modify. And that brings up so this is a little trick I use. It brings up an invisible weapon bench so that you can actually name the blueprint so you can keep track of it. So we'll call it Sanctuary. Whoops. I hit a little screenshot there with Steam. Sanctuary Streetlight. That's what we'll call this. And modify there. Okay, and then we can exit here. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so now we should have our blueprint. So now I think I can come over here. Let's place this again. And it should move the other one. Yeah, it moves it. All right, and now we're going to build blueprint here. And we want to build it on, we'll go ahead and build it on a new layer. Creates a new layer. And we'll select our sanctuary streetlight. Hit accept. And now it should build it relative to this thing. Now I don't know which direction that is. Okay, there it goes. There, it's building it. And those items, okay, all items are attached to the blueprint. So now I can grab this. There we go. And place this guy. So it takes a little getting used to, so it's a lot of steps there, but feel free to rewatch this. And I probably overcomplicated it myself again because I don't. It's been so long since I've actually played with this. Anybody who uses this regularly probably has come up with easier ways to do everything that I just did. And let's lower that a little bit here. There we go, lighten the ground a little better. And then we can continue to do this. So we can go, let's say, over here. And yeah, this seems like a good enough spot for one. And then in just a second, I'll pop up this. We're going to build blueprint here. And we'll put all these on layer 2 now that I feel comfortable with what I'm doing. And then we cancel out of there. And then the item should just start appearing. And that it highlights its little thing red there to let you know you should just leave it alone. Don't do anything while that thing's highlighting red, and you might interrupt the process and cause some problems. And builds itself another copy. And now it's green, so we can pick it up. And just go ahead and poke this down. We want to get this one into the ground a little bit. There we go. Lighten the street. There we go. We got a nice little pattern we can just keep stamping. So this is super useful. I'm glad I thought to do this. I was thinking I was going to need to go get the mod copy paste, which has its own tools just like this. And I think they're probably a little more full-featured than what I've done for Workshop Plus, just because this is one of the downsides to me focusing on so many different mods, is that I tend to do a broader sweep on everything than people who are focused solely on one aspect of a mod. So I'm sure people in the comments can give you guys suggestions which one you should go with if you're hardcore. I know I think I have some features in Workshop Plus that aren't in copy paste and vice versa. But let's go ahead and build one more of these over here. Just to I don't know if I don't want to have that same exact pattern everywhere, but I do like it, and I think it's a nice shortcut. We might put one in the residential area, but I'm kind of okay with the residential being a little less well lit. But because they have all the security over here, I think industrial would light themselves up, because lighting is very good security. Just to deter the average citizen from doing something they would regret. Let's see here. Is it too low? No, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we have this cool little blueprint we can stamp out. I gotta use this more. I love that. That is really nice. It might help me get some of this other stuff done that I keep telling you guys I'm going to do off camera, and I just haven't gotten around to. Okay, so we're going to have those. So that's one thing we're going to be doing. So we got our little handmade street lamp set up. I definitely want to get. Okay, thank you. I definitely want to do more of those lights I mentioned, the cage lights. And let's go ahead and start, since we're using the layer panel now. It's actually, the layer panel is actually pretty safe to use. The one that really is a killer, and I mentioned this to Donald Strong recently in a conversation, is that the one that really gets it, that overloads it, is the hide and show. When you use that a lot, it can really overwhelm the scripting engine. So if you have a layer with a bunch of stuff and you try hiding it, it can cause a lot of problems. So we're not going to be doing that. I'm just trying to put items on there so I can make blueprints out of them potentially. All right, my hotkey is not working now, and I don't feel like going back into that menu. So I think one of the places we'll be able to do hanging lights is on this bridge when I finish it. But obviously, I've mentioned many times that we're not going to keep this stupid-looking bridge. We're going to make it look a lot better. So let's go look for other opportunities where we can put some of those. Possibly up there, but I think, again, this is kind of residential area, so I think that that's okay, that's not quite as brightly lit. In fact, a lot of this is already super brightly lit just because of everything that's in them. Up in there, when that bar goes up there, we'll definitely be lighting this up. This feels like another garage area. In fact, it might become another one. I did pick up another suit of power armor recently. I have not been collecting them, and I went ahead and put all the tribal pieces on there, so I had collected that a while. That's a really cool design for power armor, but it's not particularly powerful, so I don't wear it. But I would like to have it on display, so maybe this will be the type of area where I put some of those up for display. But I think we can add some more of those hanging lights right here. I think they would look good. So let's go find those. Back into Project Blueprint. Special, lights, no power required. And let's get going over here. Way on down. You know, for how much I like them, I should have put them toward the beginning since I have control over that. Well, let's see here. Put this guy there. Nope, those got added to layer 2. That's fine. Okay, so... Alright, so we got there. That's one place we can put those. So I think this is vanilla. Then we can check that. I showed you guys in the last video. You guys can check where things are located here. So yeah, we can confirm that is, in fact, default. So we're sure that'll be there at all levels. So let's see if we can get a big enough, one of these bigger guys to string between this. This is my real favorite way to use these, is when you have them strung across large gaps. I love the look of it. So let's see here. So this one's a little too short. This guy's a little too long. So I would prefer to scale up over scaling down just because we don't lose the scope of these bulbs. So let's, okay, let's find the anchor point on this. It should be, it's on one of the edges. Is it over here? Here it is. Okay, so let's start with that side because it'll grow from there. Actually, it makes more sense to line up this, I think, because this is a much smaller target. So let's get this in here. And we might change the angle too, once I've got this thing scaled up correctly. Oh, and I might have made a mistake by putting it there because now this thing's in the way. So let's see here. All right, I guess I can... Can we move this? Okay, we'll use another little trick with place everywhere. So if you highlight something and press the, I want to say 0 key, we'll find out. I'm going to put this over here, and then you push... did I do it wrong? Is it backwards? Is it 0 equal key and then 0? Let's find out. Over here. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Okay, so I apparently did it in reverse. It's you push the equal key to store the coordinates of something, and then you push 0 to reapply those, which is pretty cool and useful. But we'll have to just eyeball that, and let's get this thing scaled up. And let's see how close it is. Did it make it into the tree? Okay, it's pretty close. I think we can rotate that into place now. But let's go ahead and put this guy kind of close back where we can still access it. Do we still have access to the point? No, not quite. Alright, well at this point, we screwed up the placement of that, so it's fine. We can just manually, we'll just let it be part of the city plan. So one of the reasons to avoid touching things is that if I can leave them where they were in vanilla, when the city plan goes to get created, the item won't get scrapped during the build phase, and instead will just be left there, and I feel that's just more immersive. But it can still work in the city plan even if I move the items. We can still worry about that. So a little bit of immersion lost, and that's because I didn't know my hotkeys, and that's okay. All right, can we still walk under this cleanly? Yes, we can. There we go. Love that. I think we're going to attach one to our house too, because I think my house is going to be lit up like the Griswold's family house, because there's going to be so much lighting on here with how high tech my place is going to be. Let's see here. Can we just use another one of these maybe? Let's see. I guess it doesn't have to go right to that same point. I don't know why that was my initial instinct. All right, so I'm thinking here I want to use a super long one. So we will put like a little antenna or something here. So let's just start with this. All right, and now we got to find those darn antennas. Actually, you know what? I don't even want to look through the menu. I know I have one over here, so I'm going to just go copy paste it. Let's see, where are you at? It's right on one of these roofs somewhere. So I put it here. There we go. And is this guy? Yeah, it's all the way to the ground. But we can shrink this thing down. All right, let's grab this, clone it, pick it up, and we can shrink it down again once we get it here. Alright, let's scale you way down. And then bring it back up. Shrink it down some more. There we go. And then we'll spin you into place. So real hard to rotate at this scale. Okay. All right. Now we can keep scooching this over. How's that? Oh, not quite there. Let's rotate this guy around. Not gonna go in for perfection here, just because most of you aren't gonna come close and give this enough of an inspection to notice. Let's see here. Get that a little bit out of the base there. Just want to get it so it's sitting right on top of the roof here, and then I can see. Oh, nope, not gonna be able to go up that high. I just want to be able to scale this up a little bit. Nope, that's not gonna work. All right, scale back down. All right, we'll just nudge this into place, and we will rely on the fact that most people aren't going to get this close to this thing. All right, good enough for me. Now let's go take a peek in the house. Or actually, did it even make it into the... Is it at the garage level? Yeah, it's not poking through. And even if it was, it's probably so tiny you're not going to notice. Okay, cool. Now we got a string there. I think we'll string it to this thing too. Why not? That's and then we'll call that good enough for today. As far as all the things we're going to do. So let's figure out, let's start by figuring out which end has the physics. There it is. And we'll line you up with this. We're just going to get it close because I am going to have to do some more. Oops, what did I grab? There we go. Oh, apparently I moved that wire to the layer. That's okay, it doesn't hurt anything. So having items on layers, for those of you who haven't used much Workshop Plus, having items on layers only really matters when you're creating blueprints or when you're trying to show hide stuff. Otherwise, it really doesn't mean anything. It's just a number applied to the item in the background to keep track of it. So no harm that I just added those to it by mistake there. All right, so now we're going to do, let's try and do some rotation. Oh, God, I think I got my rotate multiplier way up. But I don't know at what. So, all right, we may have to just call this. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with the place everywhere so I can get my hotkeys working correctly because it looks like my rotation is set to 90. That's what that crazy flickering was. The thing was just spinning so fast that there's no way I could lock it down. But I think you guys can see what I'm going for there. I'm going to chain that to there. So I'm going to do that in a lot of different locations where I find where it fits nicely. I'll probably do some more stamping of this little light we made with the blueprint generator. And maybe we might even add that out to our little bridge setup to make this a little more inviting here because we got it nice and inviting right there, but then they have to go through darkness. Not ideal. Maybe people traveling here are going to want to be in light the whole time, so I might convert these into that same thing, and that'll give them a nice little lit path right into our very brightly lit commercial district. So then if we go back into workshop mode, we can hide all those crazy utility items and invisible lights. But yeah, I'm liking this. I'm really excited to get this bridge all fixed up so that we can, because I want to run water pipes on it and lighting. Good mix of electricity and water, nice and dangerous, just the way I like the wasteland. And that should look pretty good. So I think
I'm hoping if we put our minds to it.
I think I'm going to end up spending some time this week fleshing this place out so that hopefully we can get to... Oh, we failed at that. I'll fix that. I'll fix a lot of this off camera, but I'm hoping to... No guarantees. Always depends on what my schedule's like, but hoping to start getting into some regression in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys.